What's up, babes? Happy Tuesday. I'm gonna do a quick hello. Hang on while I type this in real quick. It's just me tonight, guys. Hi, loves. Love your hearts. What's up, Shashi? Give hearts, guys. How are you? I'm typing in something super quick. And it's on a stand, so I can't hold the phone. I do follow Spirit Cake, which you all know. Do follow. Hi, yay, love hearts. I think it'll let me do both. Will it let me do both? Will it let me do two? Sorry, guys, give me a second. And hang on. It's like I'm using this for the first time. There we go. Follow at Spirit Cake. Follow Feel Good, who is not joining us this evening. It is just myself and you guys. So hi. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Soul Circle if you're new. Welcome back if you're not. Do we have newbies tonight? What's up, Alexandra? Hi, beautiful. What's up, Denise? What's up, Odie? Hi, guys. Happy to be here. Awesome. Crazy day. Great day for the soul. Bad day for the ego. Sounds like some fun lessons are happening today, huh? Who else is feeling that? How are you guys doing? We've got hearts. How's this Tuesday? What wonderful things are you learning this week? Need this right now. Awesome. I'm here to support. You guys can start writing in your questions and stuff too. We'll wait for everybody to join. This room is totally filling up. I love you guys. I love seeing you. I'm testing out. I just created a new little studio space for videos, so I'm testing the lighting. So you guys get to see it here first, of course. San Antonio, Texas. Awesome. Love your feminine stuff. Awesome, girl. Here to support the feminine and the masculine. And of course, yes, always love my ladies. Thank you, Alexandra. She says the lighting's on point. Dope. That's what, good lights, couple filters, that's how we do it. That's how we slay. Shaman Durek, hello. Blessings, brother. Looks good. Awesome. Thank you. It's a wonderful brother. Puts out some really amazing content too. Brother, I've been checking your stuff out. So everybody, little shout out to Shaman Durek and go follow that brother. Good knowledge. Udi, hi. How was your talk on Sunday? Wish I was there. Thank you. And yes, I do actually want to start this as giving a huge shout out to everybody who showed up. So I know, obviously, not like you guys are all over the world. And I love that. And I love that, I can connect with you here. And I really just want to give a personal shout out for everybody who showed up in person. And the new beautiful souls that I met that night as well. And yes, it went really wonderful. I want to do a quick shout out to Celestino, who created the Space of Conscious Connections. He's going to be doing it once a month too. So if you are in LA, just to come for that whole experience, really beautiful, just sharing his wisdom. He's really just a beautiful brother who's creating the space for the women to show up and give their knowledge and their wisdom. So I was honored to have been asked. Shout out to my girl Chelsea, who hooked that up. Thank you, baby girl. So let's see. Sadie, my girl, was there. Jess was there. Let's see. Angie was there. Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody else, and I can't remember right now. There was one other girl. I know because I took the picture and I posted it on the social media. So either way, just shout out. You ladies know who you are. And I love you so much for showing up. Hang on, let me check in with you guys. What's up, Megan Lee? So babely tonight. That's awesome. I love that. What's up, Jake? I love it. What's up, Lady Trio? Missed your talk. Is there another one? It's all good. That's the plan, you know, for 2018 is definitely bringing in more in-person live talks, more meditation classes. Little shout out to my girl Maris and the Debbie Reynolds dance studio. Yes, but it's going to be, there's a meditation center there where I will be teaching as well. So it's for dancers, for actors, for artists, creatives, for visionary entrepreneurs. So that's going to be a meditation space. Talked with Phil. We may be doing some fun other things. I don't know. There's lots of fun creative stuff happening in 2018. Who here is also creating amazing stuff for 2018? Who's stepping into your authentic soul self and really putting out your message, your divine guidance? That's what 2018 is all about too. So, Shaman Derek, thank you for the invite. Let's do a live together. Absolutely. Let's do it, babe. Thank you, Jake. Awesome. You're here for 1 month. Awesome. Yeah, and I think Phil even mentioned that too, that you're here or something. And so, I don't know, maybe we all do lunch. That'd be super fun. What's up, Mona? I love saying hi to you guys. I love that you're all here. I want to just acknowledge you for all showing up tonight, and I want to find some really dope questions. I haven't even gotten to that yet. Okay, here's one. Vanessa, dating somebody for 6 months. She went MIA and texted last night. Should I entertain this? Okay, gosh, this is a theme. This is such a theme this particular week. Let me not fall off my stool. That'd be cute. Okay, so what I'm getting for you is, so I always believe, right, that everybody has an opportunity to and wants to be heard, right? And so with being heard, if it resonates for you and you want to open that space and hear her and kind of see like what was happening for her, maybe you don't know what she was going through. It's my intuition that it's like if somebody just kind of bails on you and goes MIA and doesn't give you like the respect of communicating, then they're not valuing you as a person, but then they're also not valuing your partnership, your relationship, right? And so I would hear her out, and yet at the same time answer for yourself first, whether that's a relationship and a value system that you guys both agree upon. Because if it's not in your value system, then there's a disconnect there. And so maybe then it's just not really the right relationship for you. But like I said, if you wanna give her the opportunity to hear her out, that's cool, and see how that resonates afterwards. If it feels authentic for you, I don't know, I'd be hurt, to be honest, and I feel like you are. So sometimes I'm like, wow, you went MIA, like why am I even picking up the phone? Like what do you want? This doesn't meet my value system. I set my values higher, I set myself and my standards higher, you know, so thank you so much for the time that we shared, but it doesn't seem like it's a match. That's kind of that's what I might say, to be quite honest. But everybody wants to be heard and acknowledged and stuff too. So that's where we kind of come with an open heart at the same time. So feel into that and feel with, you know, what's correct for you, but it doesn't really sound like your value systems are matching, just to kind of loop that all in. Awesome, Shaman Derek. We're going to have to talk more about that. How can I let go? How can I get go? I imagine that means let go of my ex who is so kind. How can I accept he doesn't love me without hating myself? Baby girl. You're so amazing. It's got nothing to do with you. I know that may be, like, that may still hurt your heart, right? Like, whatever that dynamic was, everything that he's dealing with has nothing to do with you, right? So him not loving you is a reflection of how he's not fully able to love that part of himself. So he looks at you and then says, oh my gosh, I can't love that part of myself. This is subconscious, right? He's not literally saying this out to himself, right? He looks at that part of himself and says, I can't love that part of me. And so I can't love her deeply at that level either, right? So it's only a reflection of what he can't or hasn't allowed himself to gain the tools and knowledge to then go within and love those parts of himself, right? So if you can, as much as it hurts your heart, right, pull yourself out of it and look at it from the perspective of everybody's doing the best they can with the tools that they've been given, right? That's what we say first. The second thing that I say is, we have the internet, we have Google, we have transformational seminars, we have coaches, we have support system, we have Soul Circle, we have all of these things that are, there's never any excuse for not being able to get the support that you need, right? To move through something, to love yourself more deeply, to get wisdom, right? To get and access those resources, right? We have an abundant supply of resources. So, not to judge him, and yet at the same time, this goes for everybody, right? There are no excuses. We can't make any more excuses because we have too many resources. So if you're stuck, if you can't let go, like reach out and find those resources, right? Because there's always something that can support you to moving through to the next level. And so literally, it was even part of this conversation. I've had all sessions this week is, how do I let go? How do I let go? And yes, there's a really great secret to letting go, and it's super easy. It really is. And it starts with not focusing on the past. Because the minute that you focus on what was in the past and what you need to let go of, you bring that into your present, and then now you're not focused on your future. So you're bringing your past into your present, and then you're saying, I need to let go of this thing that happened behind me, right? And you bring it in front of you and say, I need to let go of this. Fuck, I didn't let go of it yet. Crap, I really need to let go of that. And then you bring it back into your present again. So you're constantly reinforcing in the present moment that you have something to let go of. So it's like self-punishment, right? So the first thing for you is stop focusing on what you need or that you need to be letting go of him. Start focusing on you. Start focusing on your light, how you're giving and loving yourself, who you're stepping into, this next version of you, what you're here to do, what you're here to create, right? Start focusing on that. Keep your eyes forward, not behind you. Oh, I hope that helps. There's a lot of energy flowing through today, so okay. Interesting. I channeled a spirit. Let's see, a channeled spirit. Okay, a channeled spirit told me that my childhood, 16 years of friendship, my childhood 16 years of friendship friend. Okay, so your friend you've been friends for 16 years is my soulmate. Okay, I am overjoyed. Any advice or insight on the physical manifestation of this? I feel somewhat impatient. So is this the physical manifestation? So this person exists, so you know this person. Boy, I hope my battery doesn't die. So the physical manifestation of this person already exists in your life, right? Okay, so what's your fear? So your fear is how to bring up that conversation. Okay, so what I would first actually, and this is when we're all doing channeling, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're well, it does matter. I'm very particular with channeling in energy and information, right? Because where is it sourcing from? Who's telling you? What energy, right, is coming and telling you this? Hang on, I'm getting distracted too because I feel like my battery is gonna die and I want to plug it in. So I may pause for a quick second and go get a charger and bring it in here. But until that point, my ADD just like pulled me out of this for a second. So with this, check what information or where this information is coming from. So what spirit was it? Is this your higher self? Is this a spirit or an entity from some other dimension, in which case you really want to know where it came from, right? The other thing is, how does, like you're saying that you feel overjoyed about it. connecting with that person and asking them how they feel, how, you know, how much have you guys really been in contact? And the impatience feels almost like, yes, thank you. But I think I need my roommate's so awesome. I think, is it on a adapter?
It's on this.
It's on that?
Does that do something for you?
Yes, it does. It's a nice long cord.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to attach it on there?
Yeah, maybe pull out the top one. Thank you guys. Hang on a second. My roommate's helping me so I can continue. Okay, give me 2 seconds. That way I won't be distracted. Solid. We're good. Cool. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. Look at that. And I didn't even ask. He was just in the kitchen. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. The energy today has been solid. Really good. Okay. Loving your guys' hearts. Thank you. Okay. So I get that your fear is, are they going to feel the same? And I feel like that's everybody's fear, right? Every single time, whether you've known them for 16 years or whether you've just met them, you're always like, is this person going to have the same feelings for me, right? And at the same time, sometimes we got to just take a chance. Because if you ask yourself, would you rather hold on to this and not take that chance? And maybe even go years and years without knowing and then potentially regretting? Or would you just like to maybe test the waters a little bit, maybe start flirting a little bit, right? And see what happens. And see if then it opens up maybe an opportunity to talk about it. But what do you have to lose? We're always thinking that, you know, oh, we're going to lose the way that, you know, the friendship dynamic is, right? Or we're going to then lose that person in our lives, right? Like that's usually either the conscious or the unconscious fear. If I say this, I'll either be rejected or I'll be embarrassed and then they'll feel uncomfortable and then I'll lose them, right? And if it's authentic love, whether they're just wanting to have feelings as friends, and the love and care that you guys have as a friendship, or if there's more feelings, right, and more romantic feelings, whichever one, if it's love and they're that type of person that then can see that you're sharing and creating that container to have that conversation, if it's authentically loving, then it doesn't matter. You won't be able to ruin anything with anybody if it's authentic love, right? Friendship, romantic, right? It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. If it's authentic love, you'll never be able to ruin anything. That's really what it comes down to. So, are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to listen to, or to not listen to those fears and see what happens? Because wouldn't that be a fun adventure? And what if they say yes? And then your heart gets to be even more overjoyed with love. And if they say no, then you say, okay, I love you so much anyway. And there doesn't have to be any missing. There doesn't have to be a shift, right? Maybe it might hurt a little bit for you for a second, and yet at the same time for you. If it's authentic love, then it won't matter what their answer is. I hope that helps. Cool. What's up, New York? Hi, Alexandra. Yes, hi, Megan. I love all you guys. I love you. Beautiful, beautiful goddesses. Shaman Derek, fighting for women worldwide. Yes. And the feminine side to every masculine, right? And this is what my talk was about too, really, like mastering the masculine and feminine alchemy. And some people even said, well, what does this mean like for me as a man versus then a woman, right? And it's literally just the essence, the energy of masculine and feminine. So even if you're a man, right, and you can have more acceptance of your feminine energy, it doesn't mean that you lose your masculine, right? if you don't lose your masculine. But it just means finding that balance and having that acceptance of the feminine. And I feel like for men, the more acceptance that you can have of your feminine energy, right, without thinking that then you lose your that masculine edge that we women love so much, it doesn't mean that you lose that, then you can actually know how to connect with women more deeply. And for women, the more that we are able to connect with our masculine energy, as well as know when and where to pull in then the feminine, right? Then we can connect to men on a more deeper level, right? Because it doesn't mean that you can't be a badass goddess out there building and penetrating the world with your knowledge and wisdom, right? But we also have to know when to like reel it back in and bring back in that divine feminine when we're in relationship to the masculine, so then they can also show up in that masculine space. Because if we're constantly driving our masculine, then the space is occupied with our masculine energy. They don't get to show up with that. The same thing goes for men with their feminine, right? So men being more accepting of both and women being more accepting of both. Just thought I'd share that super quick. Okay, I answered that question. Cool. Is this helping, guys? I feel like I'm like, whatever energy is coming through, it's no filter night tonight for me, so who knows? It feels good though. It feels really good. Wait, same, what? I can't read that. That's like a lot. If you guys could, just because there's like, it's such big chunks, just keep them as like kind of simple and condensed so it's easier for me to read would be super helpful. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for answering my question. Great. Awesome. Thank you, Alexandra. Dude, we slayed your session. You slayed your session. I'm just reminding you, girl. Is that Leanna that I met at the talk? Shout out to you. Let's see. Where's some good questions, guys? Sorry, I keep scrolling. Hi, Mona. What's Mona's question? That helps. Is that also when you feel tempted, when you are feeling lonely and you are tempted to contact someone you had a relationship with? Yes. Yes, it is. So, and it's funny, I forget, this had to be, I don't remember when I said this, because someone had moved on from someone else, right? And then an ex, right, that kind of worked out but didn't really work out, right? So they're still kind of on good terms, right? They popped up into this person's mind. And they were like, why are they popping up into my mind now? Like, does that mean that I should go back to this ex, right? Sometimes, even though some people don't totally work out, right, there's still qualities in them that we're like, oh, we really loved that about them, right? Can everybody agree with that one? And then if we go to somebody else later on, maybe they have other qualities that we really love and appreciate, but maybe they didn't have the qualities that then that last person did. So if we move on from the most recent person, right, for whatever different reasons, then the people that have those qualities that that most recent person missed or didn't have, I shouldn't say missed, didn't have, in our view, then we start thinking about that previous person who had those qualities. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're supposed to then go back to that previous person. It just means clock that into now your value checklist, right? So I'm a big believer in don't create the like person that you want checklist, whether you're in a relationship or single, right? The who you, like the all the things that you want them to be, right? Because you still do this whether you're in a relationship or not. You're still qualifying them based on a list. This goes for girls and guys. Don't even try to be like, I don't do that. I know you do that. Everybody does that. And rather than making it like, how tall they should be, like, you know, like all of the stereotypical stuff. Like, make a values checklist. Make a values checklist. So if this person comes back into your mind, it just means that they had that value system that you really appreciated about them that the most recent person doesn't, right? Or didn't. So just add it to, okay, that's something to keep in mind now for the next person. If you're single, if you're in a relationship, then you get to have that open conversation, right? And make sure that your values are still connected. Because one of the reasons why I believe that relationships break up is because value systems either were completely unclear in the first place, or they shifted and one or both of you didn't tell each other, or it wasn't communicated, or something just misaligned somewhere, didn't happen, right? So your value system basically is no longer connected, right? Or you thought it was going to be, maybe they valued one thing that was the same as you, and then all of a sudden years or however long later, right? You're like, oh, they don't have the same values as me. I thought they did, right? And we call it, oh, now I don't trust that person, or, oh, they broke my trust. And really it was just, you either fantasized that they had the value system you thought they did, or it wasn't clear and you just assumed. Let's not assume people's value systems. Let's just ask and make sure that they're aligned, right? So I hope that's clear, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you go back with the person. It just means, cool, mark that now on your list of, that's a value system within that person that I really, that means a lot to me, that I would like to keep going in a current relationship, or really make sure that I look for in the next one, right? So who cares what they look like on the outside or how tall they are, as long as both of your value systems match. I hope that helps. Here's a life purpose one. I love talking about relationships because I believe that we have relationships not just with romantic partners, right? But we have a relationship with self. We have a relationship to spirit. We have a relationship with money, right? So how you do one relationship creates the vibrational alignment for all of your other relationships. So when you focus on one relationship and shift things within that, whether that's romantic or any of the other relationships, the following relationships will then shift. So we're human relational beings, and we have relationships with absolutely everything. So this question that pertains to purpose is, I'm going to answer it because it's your relationship to you and your spirit and what you're here to do. So I just wanted to kind of make that clarity first. So how do I honor my current job when I've been enlightened to my life purpose? Great. Love that. Love people getting enlightened to life purpose. And I feel the universe pull me away from focusing on it, current job, okay, and pulling me to self-care. Can't quit yet because of money. Okay, awesome question. And I love this question because I hear it a lot. I'm a Libra. Some of you guys know that. So everything to me is about balance, right? Which the universe is about balance. The universe is always trying to find balance for anything, right? Hence, even like I mentioned, masculine, feminine energy. It's always trying to create balance. So, so I love that you found this connection with your life purpose. That's awesome. That's great. It doesn't mean now just drop everything. Totally love that you're getting the sense of like, okay, I need to self-care, right? Because that's super important, because that's where we get to spend time with the relationship with ourselves and go inward, and also get really visual and creative, right? Of all these things that you now want to build and create. So I get that 100%. And it's going to come down for you to be, there's self-care and then there's self-management, right? So because you can't leave the job, and this goes for anybody, right? It doesn't just mean just pick up and leave your job because now you know what your destiny is, right? If you're a trust fund baby, or if you have been graced with not having financial worries at this particular moment, awesome. Congratulations. do whatever you want to. For everybody else, you have to keep that balance, right? And that's actually going to be part of your fuel. That's the energy and the driver, right? I don't like to use the word like negative motivation, but you could look at it as your job, and the fact that now you have this clarity over here of where you want to go. Then now this other aspect, don't look at it as an anchor that's holding you back. Look at it as a motivator to then continue managing your time and focus and the attention that you can put on your passion and your purpose. So then when you have to wake up and get ready and go to the job, it won't be such a drain, because the more energy and attention you put into your purpose will actually, even though it takes energy to focus on, it will actually give you and pay you energy to then go to the job or go back to the job and deal with all of the things in the job, because you know that as soon as you clock out or leave, whatever, then you get the excitement of being able to go home and focus on this, right? Or do it on the weekends, right? Every single person, doesn't matter who you are, has 24 hours in a day. Athletes, highly successful people, every single person has the same amount of hours per day as everybody else, right? Safe to say. So the hours that you have at your job, those are dedicated to that. So use all of that time, focus 100% on that, so that then when you leave there, you'll have more motivation to then create the managed time for you to focus on your purpose. If that means that you have to get up an hour early, then you'll do it if it's truly your purpose, because you'll be so motivated with passion that it doesn't even matter. Like sleep doesn't matter for you. When I'm passionate about something, like I forget to eat. Which is bad, which is why I have an amazing roommate who's like shoving food in my face. But when I'm really focused on something, right? And this goes for everybody. When you're passionate about it, you just, nothing else matters because you're passionate about it. So get up an hour early, right? If that's what it means to, if this means so much for you to create, then what will you do to get to that next level? Right? Whatever that is, to create that, to spend more time, to manage your time so that you can start saying no to the things that maybe you were saying yes to. If a friend's like, hey, come out tonight, or let's go get drinks, right? Which one are you going to choose? Do you have time to go get drinks right now? Is it more important to go get drinks with friends, or is it more important because you're so filled with passion to create this purpose that you really want in your life, right? And your friends are your friends. They'll love you if they're truly your friends, because they'll be like, damn, you're slaying. Cool, go get it. Handle it. I support you. Let's go get drinks like whenever you can, right? Or whatever that is, coffee, tea, something. If they're truly your friends, they'll be like, cool. You want to brainstorm together? Maybe they're doing the same thing. Maybe you'll inspire them, right? To then think more about what their purpose is, right? So saying no to the things that don't align fully with what you're wanting to create for yourself, right? And then saying yes more to managing your time for that. There's a really... oh my goodness, am I going to remember it right now? Because it's been my mantra like every single morning. Because part of my commitment to myself is spending time with myself in the morning, right? I get up earlier so that I can spend time with my body and connect with my energy and my spirit at the same time that I'll play, right? We have resources everywhere. So I will literally play motivational speeches, Les Brown, like there's so many of them. Just look up motivational speeches on YouTube, and that's what I play when I'm tapping into my body, right? And so there's one of my favorite quotes that I have to find out who the person is, because they're recordings of different people, right? And so they never say who it is. It's just their amazing voices. I will do today, this is a quote, I will do today what others won't, so that I can have tomorrow what others don't. I will do today what others won't, so that I can have tomorrow what others don't. So that's been my mantra every single day, and that keeps me, with the motivational speeches and all of those things, right? If this is your passion, this is your purpose, then what are you going to do today that others won't, so that you can have that thing tomorrow that others don't, right? And it doesn't mean that others can't have that, I want to make that super clear too. It just means, are you going to be the one who's going to wake up and be dedicated and have discipline around those things that you're creating when those other people are choosing to go and do something else? No judgment. It's just choice. And that's why we're human, because all we have is choice, right? I hope that helps. Damn, I'm channeling some stuff today. Is this helping, guys? Is this helping everybody? I think because everybody's got the passion and the purpose conversation, right? I love diving into that. Cool, we got extra hearts. Love that. What are your thoughts on Abraham Hicks? Love her. He, her, all of the above. The whole team. I was listening to Abraham in the morning a couple times. My then favorite was Kyle Cease. So funny. Love him. Now I'm into motivational videos, but I've listened to so much Abraham Hicks. I think Esther is one of the few that I feel a resonance with when I listen to the channel, because I'm very particular about people who channel, right? And it's so funny because this was a conversation that Phil and I actually had earlier today. I'm very particular. I'll start by saying I'm very particular with people who channel, because not all channels are clear, right? There's some people that say like, oh, I'm channeling the galactic star system of blah, blah, blah. That's fabulous. And how do you know that it's the galactic star system of blah, 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 right? And whenever you open up a channel, you are opening multiple dimensional doors. And that means that there's opportunities for multiple dimensional energies to come through. And if you're familiar at all with subtle energies, or how they like to come in and say that they're something, or mislead you, right? And saying, oh, I'm the galactic star system head council of blah, 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 right? And you're like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Sure, let me listen to you. But you have to check in and resonate with whether that energy is correct and true or not, right? So I say that to say that there are some people who say that they're channeling, right? And it's about keeping a clear channel, and if they resonate with you, and I've gone into spaces and the energy is just, it feels off. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why it's off. And that could just be for me, right? So I'm literally just giving my personal experience with it, right? And so when I listen to Esther as Abraham Hicks, the channel feels really clear, right? It doesn't feel, it's like when you're listening to a radio station, right? Is it coming in clear, or is there like static? Right? Like it's not like quite fully coming in, right? And so with her, with Esther and Abraham Hicks, yes, it feels really clear to me, right? Versus some others that I've gone to and listened to that doesn't feel clear. That being said, the conversation that Phil and I were actually having is, I believe, and he believed, right? So we believe, it's my brother. I feel like I can speak for him in this moment too, right? It used to be that we would have to almost say, oh, I'm channeling this higher consciousness, and that's what validates the message coming through, right? That it would have to be called another entity or come from a different star system or whatever you want to call it, right? And now I believe the shift, that never really resonated with me, but I feel like now we're getting more and more where the shift is our human body can be a conduit, not for energies or entities to come into the body, but rather for us to connect that line to the higher consciousness, right? Our higher selves, the multiple different layers of this higher consciousness that each person has a connection to, and bring down the inspiration and the wisdom of knowledge from that higher connection. So it doesn't mean that then people are stepping into this egoic, like, I'm the guru who knows everything. It's not about that. It just means trusting yourself more, that when you can create a stronger connection to that higher consciousness, messages come through to you. That's intuition. That's your connection with hearing your higher self. And so to a certain extent, you then are channeling, but you don't have to say that it's from a higher star system. I don't know what that's doing. You don't have to say that it's from a higher star system to give it validation. You can just say, I'm congruent in my connection with soul, spirit, higher consciousness, higher self, collective, whatever you, God, whatever you want to name it, right? And you get that congruent channel and bring it all the way through into your body, clean, because it's your connection, not from anything else, right? And standing true with conviction in that you don't need to say that it's from anywhere else, right? It's you. And that's where we say all the answers are within us, right? We have connection to the answers, but it's about creating the strength within and the self-trust within to then aligning yourself to that and trusting that. I don't know why I went on a tangent about that, but that's where we went. So I hope that helps everybody. I love you guys. I love that you're all jumping on tonight. I'm so grateful for you. Welcome to Soul Circle. It's every Tuesday. Do you think you could ever date someone who is not woke/aligned? Hi, lady. Does it make sense to still pursue it if he isn't? Great question. How bored are you and how hot is he? I'm totally kidding. Kind of. That was just the first thing that came out of my mouth. No filter tonight, guys. I would say, how patient are you, right? Because if it's somebody who's not fully awoke, right? And not to put judgment on that person, right? Because I don't know, maybe he is, right? So really check to see, right? And I trust your when you're saying that, you're like, no, I've already checked, like he's not awake. So that's going to be more of a challenge, I would say, probably for you than it's going to be for them. I would say for me personally, that's just not what I would like to align with as far as, so if we're going back to values, right? It's not part of the alignment. If you, just being real, if you want to have fun with that person, that's great, right? There's nothing wrong. There's no judgment around that. And if you want to maybe see if you can gently, not forcefully, but offer insights, because everyone still has free will as well. So if that's, you guys have come together for some reason. And I strongly also believe that even if some people who are, let's say, more awake versus than the ones that are not as awake, and they come together and they meet for whatever reason, it may or may not mean that it's a romantic partnership. It could be, and even if it does mean it's a romantic connection, right? Like there's a spark, there's a chemistry there. It could be that that person on a soul level has chosen to create an alignment with someone who can guide them to that awakening process. That could be somewhat of your karma, right? Some agreement that maybe you guys made on another lifetime. That's just what I'm getting for this one. And so whether you want to take that on is entirely up to you, because either way, we have multiple different contracts with different people. It's up to us as to whether we want to sign them or not. So you don't have to sign this contract. The other flip side is they don't have to agree. So everybody has free will. So let's say even if this is a soul contract alignment and you guys have come together so that you can bring him into, or just offer, right, wisdom to bring him into a higher state of awakening, right? It's up to his conscious mind. He may be choosing that unconsciously, but on a conscious level, it still has to be congruent. So fears could come up or whatever, right? And he could choose to say, no, thank you. So it's entirely up to the position that you would like to create, right? Because that's also, keep in mind, that's gonna almost put you in a teacher sort of role. And then are you gonna be the teacher or are you going to be the lover? Right? And yes, there can be both. You can have partnerships where you can learn from each other if it's equally dynamic like that. So if you're not learning anything from him and you're only the teacher, then I would say it's not, it's not going to last very long, right? That's just, that's one avenue, right? Doesn't mean that's the only avenue. It just means there's a potential that it will not last that long. So I would say it's entirely up to the experience that you would like to create and how much patience you're going to have or want to have, and whether you want to be in that sort of teacher role or whether you really want to stand in your truth and say, this is where I'm at, and I would really like to call in someone that has that equal alignment of awakened energy, right? But it's your story. You get to write it however you want to, right? I gave the example today, or literally, I think twice this week on 2 of the calls, right? We forget that we're all writing a story. We've all written a story. We keep rereading the story, some of our stories over and over and over again, right? And some of us are getting bored, and some of us are still reading the stories expecting a different result, right? But it's the same chapter in the same story, and then we keep looping back to the beginning, and we forget that we are in a choose your own adventure book. And so I don't know if I'm dating myself, but for those of you that remember, I think these were like an 80s thing. There were the books that were choose your own adventure at the end. So at the end of every chapter, right? You've got, 2 lovers or something like that. And at the end, they have a huge argument. And then at the end of the chapter, there's 2 options. And it says, do they stay together? Turn to page 55. Or do they, continue arguing and break up and then find a different relationship? Turn to page 105, right? So no matter what story it is, we are in full, I hate using the word control, but for lack of a better term right now, we are in full control of the story that we're writing and the choose our own adventure story at the end of the chapter. But if we don't think that we have choice, we will loop back around and continue reading from the top of the same chapter, experiencing the same events with maybe a different person or the same person or whatever. And that's what keeps us in a loop and stuck, right? You're in a choose your own adventure. Just remember, you're in a choose your own adventure. At the end of every chapter, you can write another one that's something else entirely, right? I know some of you already know that, but sometimes reminder's good, right? I still need that too sometimes. Yeah, Serah, choose your own adventure. What would you like to create today? Which page are you going to turn to today, right? And make it fun, visualize it in your mind in the morning and be like, all right, I'm at the end of that chapter. Do I want to reread the same one, or do I want to do something else? Dope, we got hearts on that. I hope that helped, lady. Give me hearts, good. Loving you guys so much. Bloomin', love that saying. Awesome. Wow, I'm totally behind on... Where are we with comments? I'm totally behind on comments. So jammed. Who is this? Giovi? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi, baby. So damn true. I get in a relationship, guy is self-centered and dumps me, then chases me for years because they realized what they lost. Ooh. And you are a beautiful goddess, and that's exactly why they were like, oh, damn. And honestly, like I said in the beginning, no more excuses. We don't, they're I'm going to rant for 2.5 seconds. Okay. you oh man, okay, the energy with this one, I love it. And I love that you brought this up. Nobody can say anymore, I don't want to hear anybody say, oh my gosh, you don't know what you have until you lose it, right? So I don't want to hear anybody ever say again like that he didn't realize what he had until he lost it, because like, one, he wasn't the right dude for you anyway, right? Blessing in disguise. Awesome. Thanks, babe. Bye. Right? And there's no such thing anymore as they don't know what they had until they lost it. The reason why I say there's no such thing anymore is for the same reason why I said we can't have any excuses, because we have too many resources. And everyone, as the resource of that term, you don't know what you have until you lost it, has been said so many times. Everybody knows that term. So nobody can really, like, the actions behind not treating people with the value ahead of time is like such a bogus excuse, because like, and I posted this, right? Like, don't cry about what you lost, right? Because you didn't lose something. He didn't lose something. He just never thought that you would leave. I read that quote somewhere else too, right? But nobody can use that excuse anymore because everybody knows it. So if we cut the BS about that excuse and just start appreciating and valuing what we have every single day and being grateful for it every single day, then we'll never have to say you don't know what you have until you lost it, the thing that you can't say anymore, because everybody knows that statement. So it's like redundant to even, it's like, but you already knew that statement existed in the world. So if you didn't appreciate it when you had it, it wasn't that you didn't appreciate it. You just thought she wouldn't wise up and leave. Or he. The same thing applies. What we say about one gender, we have to say about another one, right? So totally get that. Wasn't the dude just didn't see you. He didn't see your light. He didn't see the amazing goddess that you are. Because if he did, if he really truly did, then he'd be like, damn, you're a catch. I want to claim you, not possess you, claim you. I see you. I want to create a partnership with you. When somebody can see your light, then they're like, all right, I know what I have in front of me. I'm never letting that go. I will honor and respect that every single day. This goes for girls too, not just guys, right? Like, again, what we say about one, we have to say about the other. You got to be able to value your man that's standing in front of you at the same time, right? Because the story is that the majority of guys are the ones that pull this crap, right? But some girls do too. So we got to value on both sides. But we can't use that excuse anymore. We just can't, because everybody knows it. It's been a meme. It's been a quote you post on your Instagram. Everybody's seen it, right? Okay, I'm going to stop on my rant. You guys get it, right? No more excuses for you don't know what you had until you lost it, because everybody knows that quote. So you can't say it anymore. It's like you just thought you'd never lose it, and you didn't value it because you didn't see the light and the amazing potential that it is. So he just didn't see your radiance. That's all. And that's his bad. Like, he needs new glasses or something, right? He doesn't have like spiritual 20/20. That's all. Can't hate him on it, can't judge him on it. You know, some people just, until they go and get contacts or glasses, they're just not going to see you. So, you're a beautiful goddess. Go just rock who you are. And that person is gonna see you. And when they do, they're gonna be like, I claim you. Because I see what you are. And I don't want to let you go. And I don't want anybody else to be with you. Because you're a catch. So when that person shows up, so give yourself permission to radiate. Okay, do we have like 5 more minutes, I think. Sometimes people never see what they're missing. Exactly. But we can't say that anymore. That's why I'm like, come on. Everybody knows that line. You can't say it anymore. It's like stupid. Beautiful soul circle tonight. Thank you, Alexandra. Man, you're killing it. Thank you, Christina. Awesome. Like I said, some sort of hashtag no filter channeling is happening tonight. So hope this is helping for everybody. And I love that you guys are tuning in this evening. Where are we? Preach, Alexandra says. It's so Giovi, it's happened too much. Okay, too much. Okay, then the other thing that I'm going to tell you is it's coming back down to your value system. So you're choosing, guys. There's a pattern that you got, because this is the flip side. This is how we get to take responsibility, and this is what I'll probably end on, right? We can point the finger out at everybody else until such time that we have to look at if it's a repeating pattern, then it's an unconscious pattern. Doesn't mean judge yourself for it. It means give love for it. And then it means create or find what that unconscious pattern is that has you keep creating that dynamic. Because you could be purposely choosing certain types of guys that have this characteristic, right? So that then you can have the same experience multiple times. So then you can, at the end of the experience, be like, see, I'm right. Every guy's like that. Everybody wants to be right. So we'll set up equations for ourselves to repeat so that then we can be right about it. Again, it's the same story. And remember, you're in a choose your own adventure story. So you can create something totally different, right? So there's some pattern. So we just got to find the pattern. Okay? That's all it is. There's no judgment anywhere ever for anything that anybody's going through. There's only where we're at, where we want to be, and what the pattern is in between that's keeping us from getting there. That's all it is. And when we can sort of just give honor and acknowledgement to that without judgment, and we can step outside of it and be like, all right, I've been running a pattern. Some of them were kind of painful. I don't want to do that anymore. When you get so sick that you don't want to do it anymore, then you'll call me. And we'll figure out the pattern and we'll shift it. That's all. People come to me when they hit the point of what I like to call cycle breakers. Because you're like, oh my God, this cycle keeps repeating and I don't want to keep repeating it. So you need to break the cycle. And that's all. You don't got to judge yourself for it. You got to just be really real and be like, I don't want to keep doing this. Or maybe you do. There's no judgment to that either. But you're either a cycle breaker or you're not. One person said, I think last time they thought I said psycho breaker. No, we don't want to do that. Cycle breaker. Until I come up with a better term, that's what it is. So with that, I know this is going to cut out. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. This is Soul Circle for anybody who's new. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm still doing the special of 30 minutes, the relationship remedy sessions. So if you guys want those, if you want to find out what your cycle is and break it and start choosing your own adventure now, then let's do a quick 30-minute and find out what that is. So you can book those in the link in my bio right now. Follow Spirit_Cake for our little funny memes. We need to do some more. Follow our brother Phil Good. I'll post these soon, but yeah, send it to a friend. Email this to a friend on Instagram or something like that. So that always helps me too. So I would greatly appreciate it. I love you guys. Mwah. Have an amazing rest of your night, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.